And welcome to another exciting adventure on the energy that surrounds us. I'm your host, Michael, and I'm going to add up here in the upper left a little QR code. I have decided to create this so if anyone watching the show wishes to donate to the show, you are more than welcome to. I don't get paid doing this, so it goes a long way to help keep shows going. And my guests don't get paid either, so nobody gets paid. So don't feel like you're buying anything. You're not. You're just supporting to keep the shows going. And with that being said, it is my pleasure and my honor to be having this guest on tonight. She is someone who I have not had anybody like her on the show before. So I'm excited to see what she has to share with us. And I'm going to stop blabbing and just rambling here. And I'm going to turn it over to the one, the only medium extraordinaire, Lindsay Brooks.
Thank you. And now it's my turn to ramble. It's nice to meet everyone. I'm Lindsay Brooke. I go by a psychic medical medium. But there's so much more than just that. It's like a nice umbrella term for what I do. But am I specialize in helping people with chronic illnesses. I come from a background of being extremely ill my whole life and miraculously discovering the truth of how to heal and following that path and studying for over a decade and then accumulating so many different styles of education and in different realms and industries and merging it together into one practice. I'm a holistic healer, energy healer, physical body healer, exercise therapist, yoga therapist, registered holistic nutritionist. I'm a Reiki master 4 times over, originally initiated in Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki, and then I ended up channeling my own Reiki from the Arcturian Council after my gifts opened up fully 2 years ago. And then I was initiated in angelic Reiki by the angels. And I work with all beings of light, mainly the angels, galactic councils, ascended masters. I'm still learning and being introduced to new ones as my journey deepens. And I'm so much more than that. I'm an emotion code practitioner. I love that. That's what taught me how to use pendulum and all about clairkinesthetics and body testing, sway testing, which is a root of my practice and how I get answers, along with my abilities as claircognizant. I'm clairvoyant. Those are my main 3 strengths. I'd say I still have a little bit of like hearing abilities, but I don't hear voices. I just hear sound frequencies. And I'm still learning. There's probably some more to uncover maybe in the future because I'm still at, I'd say, the beginning of my journey, even though it's been I'm 43 tomorrow morning. So it's been that long. I'd say I've been studying my whole life because I've been sick since I was born. But originally I had autism, which got pretty severe. I had it developed into like bipolar symptoms as well. So it was like autism, bipolar. I was verbal. I wasn't nonverbal, but I was still on the spectrum. And back then, no one really knew what that was. So my family didn't understand it, and they didn't know how to deal with me. They didn't know what was going on with me. So I went through the medical system, like, all that stuff. Later on, I developed severe anorexia, bulimia. I had that for 15 years, binge eating disorder. I almost died from that. And then I developed cancer, ovarian cancer. My right ovary had a huge lump on it. That was rough in my starting 29 years old. That's kind of the beginning of when I had to get pushed into the healing world because the medical system wasn't working for me. So then yeah, my journey began. And should I go on, or do you have questions?
Well, an interesting question I have for you is, and you probably have not been asked, is what was your aha moment that you sat down and said, this is what is working for me, and wow, I did not think this was going to be the route.
My aha moment was the rapid shift in my body when I went fruitarian. That was the beginning. And so, how did I find that? Well, um, I spent a lot of time in isolation. I isolated myself because of my illnesses. I didn't have many friends. I worked a lot in nightclubs and stuff. So I had like a nightlife. And that's how I got by. And I was able to pay for my studies and all this stuff. And I spent a lot of time in isolation watching like YouTube videos, and going through on my downtime, um, engulfed in like the therapy because I went into eating disorder therapy originally. And from there, I learned about nutrition and yoga and how important that was to address root causes of illnesses and especially eating disorder like mine. So, um, the nutrition was my first intro in like, oh, food matters. Oh, interesting. I always had allergies when I was younger and all this stuff, but it didn't clue in the depth of it when it came to the eating disorder. There's also an emotional component, of course. So the yoga and the nutrition really went well together to help with the therapy around why am I in this cycle. And I took it a little bit further. I started kind of, well, I mean, the yoga, the meditation really helped me to connect to spirit. I didn't know that at the time, but then my angel guide guided me to quantum, like quantum physics, essentially, and learning how everything is a frequency in this universe. And I was like, what? This is the first time I'm hearing this. And that's when I was probably around 29 or so. And so as soon as I learned about quantum physics and frequencies, I thought, well, how about I just study this world in frequencies? Because if it's like 500 and above is healing and everything below it isn't, then I need to focus everything in my life on like 500 and above. So I started to look at food as frequency, and I studied fruits and vegetables and other foods I was eating, and I realized the fruits and vegetables had the highest frequency. So then I found fruitarian diet. And I was like, okay, let me try it. So I just dove right in. I was on the standard American diet, but I was kind of on a diet, kind of diet like low fat, low carb, low everything. Protein matters, but let also keep my calories restricted. And then I went into this fruit diet where I was from that deprivation to like eat as much fruit as you want, eat all the vegetables you want, eat potatoes, eat sweet potatoes, have a little bit of fat, but don't have a lot of fat, and just focus on carbs, carbs, fruit. So when I did that, I was just like, whew, my mind exploded with information and energy and so much joy, like exhilarated joy. Like I felt high on fruit. And I was like, what is this feeling? So this was the aha moment. Like there's something to this. And that was how it started. And like angels just flew into the room at that point. I felt like I turned on a switch in the brain that was maybe off prior. And so, well, not maybe, it was. And so when I turned it on, I could see angels. Like I was that deep into it because I was in meditation at the same time. So I would constantly doing like yoga like 3 hours a day at some point, just 3 hours a day. And then I went on to like sometimes I was doing 8 hours of yoga a day while I was healing, and I had the time for that. But yeah, I was seeing like sparkles of light, trailing light. My cats would follow the light, so I knew I wasn't just like tripping. and I'm an athlete, so I'm actually a trained circus artist. There's a lot more to me than I mentioned, but so I actually am an ex-pro circus performer, and I specialize in trapeze and silks and stuff. And I always struggled with that. But when I started doing fruitarian diet, my training went through the roof too. So it was like my physical endurance, my athleticism just went like amazing. And I felt like I was on top of the world. And so that's kind of the aha moment for me, was like, oh, there's something to fruits and vegetables and being vegan, to be honest, but not the vegan that like eating tofu and like high fat stuff and all the nuts and seeds and all that stuff, but more like fruit, heavy carb based, yeah, just high level, high frequency foods. So herbs, really important, all that kind of thing. And then from there, I went through like a process of, okay, now I'm kind of being guided, not realizing I'm being guided yet because I'm still kind of in the dark about being a psychic. I didn't know I was psychic until 2 years ago, which is silly because the whole time I was receiving all the information and being guided. And yeah, just guided from one thing to the other. Now, okay, now do this, now do that, now go to Vancouver. So I was living in Toronto and I was inspired to go to Vancouver. I had a friend who lived here and invited me over, and then they're like, yeah, go there. You know, I had this intuition, like, go there, do something, go do a yoga certificate or something, like get something out of it. So I went, I did a month-long yoga um, training, 200-hour certificate at Semper Viva College, which is a world class college. And I trained with like master teachers. I didn't realize it at the time because I was autistic still. So I was like, whatever, this is awesome. This is the best in the world. I'm going there. And so I went and I had the best time, but the profundity just kept coming. Like it was just, you know, waves of it. And now I'm practicing the fruit diet, doing yoga 8 hours a day, studying it, practicing teaching other people, all that kind of fun stuff. And so that just, it kind of just made it more profound. And I just realized that the clearer my mind was, the more energy I had in my system, like the more life got amazing. It was just, and I was healing and I was feeling good. Of course, I still had a lump because this is just the beginning of my journey. I still had the autism. And then I decided, okay, you know what, I'm moving here. I'm going to continue my education at Semper Viva College. So I ended up doing a 500-hour, which turned into like a 2,000-hour, like extra training. I think I have like 2,000 hours in yoga training with like Gloria and like Gurmukh and like Bernie Clark and Teresa Campbell and Max Strom and a whole bunch of people. And yeah, there's so many more that I'm not. Yeah, my mind's drawing a blank at all of them, but so many amazing people. So I moved here to Vancouver, and I never looked back, and I just kept going deeper and deeper. And then it was in a workshop with Gurmukh, who is a Kundalini yoga teacher. She's an amazing woman. She's definitely in her elder years now and still going strong. And she's one of the original teachers of Kundalini yoga. So I got hooked on Kundalini. Kundalini is the yoga of awakening. And that's when my gifts just went poof. It's like if you want to be a psychic, do Kundalini yoga, because that's what kind of started that process of like really feeling energy more deeply and receiving profound information from the divine. And she told me about Anthony William. She was like, I have a friend named Anthony William, and he told me not to eat this and not to eat that and eat this and this and this. And I was already eating the fruit diet. So I was like, whoa, he's speaking my language, because he was talking about fruits and vegetables and eating potatoes and all the things I'm doing. And he had some other clues that I didn't have, like how important greens were and how important celery juice is and how important certain antiviral herbs are and how to use these foods very specifically and how to do heavy metal detox. That was something I was new to. It's like heavy metal detox. I didn't even think about heavy metals. And so I just went on a roll because I've already been trying every diet before that. I didn't just go from fruitarian. Like I really have gone through all of the different diets. Like back in the day, it was paleo was really popular, high fat keto, all kinds of fun things. You know, the regular sad diet, the McDonald's diet, the Wendy's, all the Subway. Like I ate every fast food you can think of. I was bulimic. So, you know, trigger warning, I pretty much ate it all. Didn't digest it all, but I ate it all. So I've had a lot of food. And I've tried to lift a lot of different things. Like I said, it was really damaged in my body. But so my healing was still ongoing because of that. There was a lot of damage to heal from. So it wasn't just like a simple thing like change your diet, fruit, and you're good. So, anyways, Anthony had the piece of the puzzle for me. So I was like, I'm going further with this because I still had some bloating and I still had like, you know, pain in my body and I still had the lump and so it did go down though. And then eventually I got on the heavy metal detox and I started to realize that like my mind's clearer and like I'm not so distracted. Like I had ADHD with my autism. There's a huge list. I had heart disease. Like I had crazy things. I had severe like PCOS symptoms, like all kinds of terrible things. Like they weren't like even standing out as much as what the bulimia, the cancer, and autism stood out, but it was all connected. And so that all started to clear up. And so that was like, oh my God, now it's more profound than ever because now I'm I'm starting to actually see the world differently. I'm starting to have awareness around like certain friends that weren't good for me, but before they were manipulating me and I didn't realize it. And so my life started shifting, and it wasn't always fun. Let me tell you, it was quite a challenge to have to become more aware to all of that and to change my life so much, so drastically against everyone else. No one else is really doing what I'm doing. So I'm also pioneering in my friend group. Like I wasn't doing this with anyone else. It was just me by myself and having to constantly defend myself in my actions. And people calling me crazy. I'm like, why are you eating lettuce in class? I would just eat heads of romaine lettuce. And they're like, what is wrong with this person? And and I just knew I just had to keep doing it because it made me feel so good. And I would be jumping around. I'd be all light and happy and energetic. I'd be biking 3 hours a day. I'd be training at circus. I'd be doing yoga all day. Like my life just depended on, all this. I needed to get rid of all this energy because I had so much of it. And so people notice, especially because I'm in my 30s at this point and I looked so young. And still at 43, I feel like I look pretty young. I feel like I'm pretty fit. I feel like I'm stronger than ever. And yeah, it all has to come down to that. So it was just like this progression, and it's still going.
Yeah.
That answer the question?
Yeah. And I just want to take a moment and just clarify for everyone watching that neither one of us are medical doctors. I put a
Right.
little banner up that
Thank you.
states we're not medical people.
No,
So we're not giving medical advice. We're just
no.
sharing our personal experience. So take it for
Thank you.
that. We are not telling you to quit any meds or anything.
No,
So,
that's not a good idea.
with that
Yeah.
being said and clarified,
Thank
I
you.
am kind of curious a little bit with all of this stuff hitting at the same time and going through. What was it in you that was saying, I need to change this, and finding the root cause of everything that caused everything to flower up and go, oh, now I can make these changes, these changes, these changes?
Pain and suffering. Yep. So you can't find the light without the dark. Would you even know that dark existed? Would you ever know light existed without the dark? Like I see this often. Like I was suffering. I know I sound all happy and like this is exciting, but honestly, it was so exciting because of my life was so painful, and it was so dark, and like severe depression, severe things like pain and suffering, like aches in my body, like fibromyalgia pains, like, burning throat, having that cycle of addiction. And like my soul was just like, I need out of this. But also, I feel like I was meant to go through all of that so I could find the light, found what worked. And I did try everything. So it wasn't like I just found, well, there's the answer. And I just went with it. I was experimenting with so many other things before I found this. So all up until like age 29, I was trying everything else. I went through the whole medical system. I went through all the drugs. I went through the medical treatments. I went through the medical um, rehab centers. None of that worked for me. And so I needed to find an alternative just because my body was screaming for help. And I was like, I need real help. And how do I describe, like, my intuition really led me? Like it's an inner voice. It's like an inner knowing. It's like when someone was telling me something and it just didn't feel right, like my emotions kind of drove the ship, because it was like, then maybe a doctor would say, oh yeah, just take this med, and I would just be like, why does my body feel icky? Like, ooh, why does my stomach feel icky? Like, is the physical the clairsentience about it, right? It's like that, like, ooh, like it's kind of navigating. And I learned in alternative healing, it was like, follow your emotions, follow how you feel. Don't let other people gaslight you. Don't people tell you what you need. You need to find what feels good for you. So I was following what felt good by trying to leave what felt bad. That makes sense.
It does. And I want to take a moment and just acknowledge Tammy is a medium, and she says happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
And there is a question in the chat room, but no pressure on you. If you want to do it, you can. If not, that's totally fine. But Marfe 111 18P. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm trying to read it.
I know I'm
Says,
getting real
hello,
close. Like,
Michael and Lindsay. I am a new
mhm,
sub and viewer. Well, thank you. Already
cool.
stunned with Lindsay's experience. May I ask for an energy general scan or insight? Thank you.
Mm. Okay, that's a loaded question. I mean, I'd love to give you a scan. So how I work is I have to if I'm going to be doing any kind of medical reading, which is what I can do by channeling the same spirit that Anthony Williams channels in a different way, though, because I don't hear him. If you know Anthony Williams' work at all, and I hope you do look it up because it's absolutely that's what got me here. Okay, to begin with, I had to do everything for a long period of time, so like 9 years of this work before it really opened up about a couple years ago, and um and so, to do a medical scan, I would actually have to do a pretty long energy healing session first because I need to clear any negative energy out of the way that's stopping me from reading your body because I'm not Anthony, and Anthony can just probably read anyone's body just like that because spirit talks to him through his ear, his right ear. So it's like constantly coming at him where it doesn't come out at me at all like that. And though sometimes things can stand out. So sometimes if I'm with somebody, I might get a loud, like medical chronic illness type of label. And yeah, but I do again definitely like read energy. Number one, first of all, it's what I like to do is like clear the energy first so I can read any trapped emotions you have if you'd like. I can kind of go there today and just a little bit of that. And I can tell you basically what I'm receiving. I can't go into super details. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, so this is not a diagnosis. This is not any kind of advice to just go and drop everything tomorrow. Um, this is something that I've experienced and works for my clients and my friends and family, and it seems to be checking out pretty accurate with since I've started. I have had people come back to me with actual physical reports that have confirmed what I've found. So that's just what I'm going on, and so I do see anxiety, despair, disgust, frustration in your way right now. And with your permission, I can clear it because not only can I see it, but I can clear it. So you'll have to kind of give me permission to do so. But once you do, I
Well,
can clear it. And if that's not possible, then maybe you can message me privately and I can, you know, clear it for you. And then also, I do see something going on with your heart. So those are the two things I can help you with today. I hope that helps.
well, she actually responded with, "She is so vibrant, and I feel her energy so much. Lovely story." And then she says, "Lots of laughs. Yes, thanks, Michael. My real name is Maria. I'm so open to any insight. And yes, that would be wonderful. No worries. Either way would just love to learn." And says, "Yes, I give permission."
Permission. Okay, amazing. So let's clear it. Okay, so as we clear it, my body is going to like act as a pendulum because I'm clairkinesthetic and it's a pretty strong skill that I have. So my body's just moving as it's clearing you and kind of there we go. So my head will do some things now. Yeah. It's bringing in healing energy, and then this is clearing negative energy right now. Okay, so we're one by one clearing all those trapped emotions that I found. There is a root belief structure. We don't need to know what it is. We're not, spirit does not want me to tell you out loud. So we're just going to replace it in the background. So there is a belief structure that it wasn't serving you that's now being replaced by your higher self. So your higher self is involved with this, and this is only with your permission and your higher self's permission, and this is only for the greater good of all. I don't work any less. I go for the best. And yeah, so now once that's clear, there we go. And then my head will kind of do that. It's like, okay, it's clear. And then I'll do a double check. And then there we go. So it's strange the way my body moves, but I'm used to it now. Yeah, so that's clear. And then yeah, heart wise, just tell you one thing, just drop the fats more in your diet. Just eat more fruitsies, just more fruitsies and vegetables. Less
Yeah.
fats. Hmm.
Well, Andrew Rollins, 4898 says, I was told that the synchronicity is taking place. It's when evil rule ends and the good reign begin. There's a forever battle of good and evil, and chaos is nearing its end for 1,000 years.
Mm,
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought there was a question in there.
it's okay. I mean, yeah, I would pray that that is ending, and we're at a very like, we're at a crossroads right now. And, the more people that wake up and the more people that do energy healing and follow their heart and the light, I think that's going to come pretty quickly.
Yes, and I'm curious too. Is you mentioned with when we are talking about topics for tonight, one of them
Mm.
that got my interest and like piqued my mind was you overcame multiple chronic illnesses that doctors said were incurable. Was that all done by doing the fruit and shadow work, or was there other attributes involved? Because I have bronchitis and they say it's incurable, but I'm trying to strengthen my lungs and kind of like bypass it.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I believe you can. So, um, I actually have some clients who have already overcame it very quickly in a few months with my protocols that I channel. So it is possible, and depends on where you're at. So it's viral. Okay, so there's viruses, there's heavy metals. It's usually a combination, but it's viral. And when you starve the virus, then the virus can't live in your body. So it's like it's got a buffet of foods it likes to eat. But if the buffet isn't serving what it likes, then it's going to move on or die off because it's going to starve. So that's what I do is I help people to starve the viruses in their bodies, see what it is, starve it, and then move on or clear the heavy metals. So it viruses do feed on heavy metals, and we do accumulate them through like our environment and the food we eat, the drinks we drink, the food we or the pans we cook on, and all that kind of stuff. Even comes from fish and the oceans, and there's a lot. The air we breathe, gasoline fumes, perfumes, air fresheners, fragrance, stuff like this. So it's a lot of information. So when we kind of clean up our environment around us as much as we can, we get air purifiers, we get everything all natural. No more like toxic stuff. It minimizes the fuel, and then eggs and dairy, corn, wheat, and soy, natural flavors, those are like big ones for feeding viruses. So I know there's so many different views, right? And there's so much information out there, it can get confusing. And that's why I went through all the hard work for everyone. It's just like experimenting with all that and spending like $1 million, like literally, so much money and time. But to get here. And so, yeah, I can say like, when you starve those things off, then things clear up. But then it's also about bringing in healing foods. So it's about taking out the things that are feeding it, and then bringing in the things that will repair. Like a house that falls apart, you need to maintain it with materials. It doesn't just maintain itself. So let's say you're the worker, and you got to go out and get the materials that help the house, repair. So um, fruits, vegetables, herbs, antiviral herbs like lemon balm, cat's claw. Um, there's all kinds of golden seal, garlic and raw honey. Those are actually super powerful antivirals, super simple, super easy to get. I do recommend Vimergy supplements, and I'm not paid to say that at all. I don't get a dime from any of them. In fact, they take all my money. So it's quite the opposite. But yeah, Vimergy supplements are really number one quality to get those types of herbs in glucose-based tinctures, not alcohol, because if you get them in alcohol tinctures, they also can damage the herb, which is, I know, contrary to popular beliefs. Something I had to learn as well. There's lots of tricksters in the system that kind of keep us in the loop of feeling sick, because it's an industry, and they make a lot of money off of us while we're sick. So there's no money in getting, out of the system, right? So that's a big thing. So yeah, you starve the virus. celery juice. Oh my gosh, such a huge one. There's even a whole book on it, Anthony William channeled. Celery juice is so powerful, just drinking it straight on an empty stomach in the morning. This is all extremely helpful. Yeah, and just trying to avoid like smoke, inhalation, stuff like that. I mean, I used to smoke a lot of, pot and stuff, and yeah, I damaged my lungs big time. I had COPD. I was having myocardial infarctions, like little heart attacks, just a couple 3 years ago. So, yeah, like it's a really important one that's where heavy metals can come from too. It's just if we're not careful with what we're smoking or inhaling or a secondhand smoke of any kind. Anyway, so there's all that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And
You're welcome.
Maria chimed in and said, "Thank you, Lindsay. I feel it for sure, and so interesting because I thought I needed more fats due to, I think
Vata.
that's Ayurveda,
Yeah.
Vata. So was eating as much as possible. I will change it now."
That's what Spirit was saying. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so happy to help you. Get his book, Medical Medium book. I
So
don't get paid for that either.
I actually have a metaphysical style question for you.
Okay.
I grew up with everybody always saying the body knows what it needs to heal. Listen to your body. And so
Mhm.
I took that to heart, and whatever I eat is because that's what my body says it wants.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people will look at it and go, "Well, you're eating, like, say, chicken tenders." And I'm like, "Well, that's what my body wanted that day."
Right.
So, how
Yeah.
do I determine, am I doing the right thing eating what the body wants, or am I doing the wrong thing by eating what my body wants?
That's a powerful question. Oh, that's such a good question. That's something I struggled with, was like, my body wants to go order a pizza, eat the whole thing, and throw it up, and then drink some coconut water and go for a run. So, like I was driven by my addictions so much that I couldn't feel my intuition. I couldn't hear it. It was my addiction was louder than my intuition, but that's not my fault. That's not our fault. The whole industry is designed, like, look at the marketing out there, the media, all the things in our face. And just before I was on computers and doing the whole social media thing, because I'm, like I said, in my 40s. So I grew up with TV ads, and it's like every other commercial is like, get a juicy burger, eat the McDonald's this and the fries, and oh, now it's A&W, and it's like and then there's all these, oh, and then milk is great for you, milk's great for your bones, and the little milk mustaches, and like, you know eggs, and all the things. And so they just push, push, push all the things they want you to buy, to the point where you crave it. Like, there's a science around how they do it, the way they use the colors, the sounds. We're going back to quantum physics again, right? Everything's a frequency. So it's like very manipulative. They know how to play with our senses. And then the natural flavors and all the extra salt, the oil, the sugar combinations that addict us when we eat it. So we go, okay, we're gonna go try that. And then we eat it, we're like, whoa, brain explosion. So now it's like a drug. So now we're hooked. And now we need it again, and we crave it and we crave it. So that's an addictive cycle. And this is something I learned in eating disorder therapy. Our intuition is actually a lot quieter. And we need to slow down. We need to get soft and quiet, and we need to like feel into like the reactions our body has around the food we eat. So it's like, yeah, that's what my body wanted, but then what is it feeling like now? Like, what do I feel like afterwards? And sometimes it's not right away. Sometimes it's like a week or two later, or a month later, or it's right away, or you feel like, I gotta go to the bathroom all of a sudden, or like whatever it is. And then on top of that, heavy metals also mess with our ability to receive our higher intuition. It's like a block. It's like, when people wear the tin hats because they want to avoid the spying on them, spying on their minds. Well, it's actually exactly like that, except the tinfoil is inside of our brains. And so that heavy metal aluminum gets in our brain, the mercury, and it can block signals from our higher self, our intuition, spirit guides, angels, God, whatever you want to call it, the universe, ascended masters, whoever wants to kind of say, hey, psst, like that's not good for you, like that's hurting you, that's blocked. And then alcohol, drugs, anything that lowers our frequency makes it more dense, so we can't hear our higher thoughts or our intuition. So it's like a compound of all these things, and that's what I struggled with. So yeah, by the grace of God, I found my way through all of that by literally the pain and suffering. So it was like, yeah, my body wants that, but wait, why am I still in pain and suffering? And so it goes back to that kind of cycle of like, if it felt good for a minute, but now it doesn't. And now I'm kind of stuck back. And sometimes I was numb to it too, because that stuff all numbs us out. So if we're on medications too, some medications can numb us out and we don't feel the pain. So if we don't feel the pain, how do we know it's there? And then how can we really know if it's good for us or not? So going all natural and kind of like feeling the pain really helped to navigate what was good for me and what wasn't. My body's just naturally really sensitive. And if your body's like mine, really sensitive, then you might discover that is your cue. So you can kind of decide, or you can just get a consult with a psychic like me and I can tell you.
Well, I will say, if I use like chicken tenders as an example, certain places I can eat it and be just fine. Certain places I eat it and I'm like, nope, didn't agree with me, and I don't go back. And so that's how I listen. And I don't really have like the loud sounds of what I want to eat. It's more like I kind of just settle and be like, well, nothing's really sounding good, but yeah, let's do this. It's easy, and yeah,
Convenience
okay,
too.
we can do
Yeah,
that. But
totally.
and we cook with I cook with coconut oil
That's good oil
over
to cook with.
vegetable oil or seed oil, and so I do, like I don't eat GMO. I don't eat, as much like chemical food as possible, but
Amazing.
every once in a while it's like you just are like, I'll get this feeling like I know I shouldn't eat it, but there's something in there that I want, so I'll eat it, and then I may go a long time without it. So,
It's good.
so that I'm doing right then.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any chronic illnesses and if you don't feel like you're suffering at all, my cats are going crazy right now. Sorry, they're just running
Yeah,
around.
one just
They,
ran by.
yeah, yeah, that's cutie. Um, yeah, so I called him Quantum Trailblazer, and his short is QT, but it sounds like cutie because he's so cute. But side note,
Clever.
okay, yeah, so he's trailblazing right now. Um, yeah, if you don't have any chronic illnesses, you're not suffering, you don't feel like it's a problem, like you do you. Like you do what you got to do, right? So life is hard enough as it is. But if you feel like you have a goal in mind, there's something that's missing for you, or there you want to take it to the next level, then you want to go deeper into like what drives me to eat foods like this, um, you know, but also becoming aware of like what it's doing to you. So what do these foods do to us? Like, so understanding like what would fried chicken do to us versus baked chicken, or what would eating a sweet potato do to us versus eating baked chicken or fried chicken. Understanding the difference. So a chicken isn't healing us, and meat doesn't heal us at all. It's actually unnecessary for us. I learned this, like I've been a hardcore meat eater, so I totally understand that. And I still like, I'm not like, I'm grossed out by the idea of eating animals now, but like the flavor doesn't gross me out. Like that's still a good, that's, I still understand like that tastes good, Um, so that's something, it's more, health wise and like ethical for me at this point. But like I struggled with that for a while. So I just had to educate myself more on like, what is this? What does this mean? What is it doing? And I think actually a big part of moving away from meat was just like seeing the way they were, how it was prepared. And but side note, it could be anything, it could be like fried, um, just fried wontons or whatever, like something that's not meat based, but it's just understanding what it does to our heart, what it does to our liver. So our liver can only process up to 10 to 15% of the daily caloric intake in fat and protein. After that, it gets into danger zone, fatty liver, pre-diabetic. You're blocking glucose from entering the cells. Our brain, heart, and muscles and all other organs run on glucose. So when we block glucose, by putting in too much fat, then we're not uptaking glucose, and now it's stuck in the bloodstream, and that's what's causing like the pre-diabetes and the diabetic cycle. It's not the fat in the diet. I'm sorry, it's not the fat. It's not the sugar in the diet. It's the fat. So just understanding these basic principles can really help. And yeah, like I said, it goes back to if you have a goal or not. But if you don't care, like it's your life, like do what you want to do. And we're all on this planet to do what we got to do and learn what we got to learn. And some people aren't even here to learn that lesson. And so it's just up to you really. But yeah, if you want to know like the understanding of like the facts, this is how our body works. And so yeah, plants heal us, and cooked foods to some degree do too, of course, like potatoes, sweet potatoes, those will definitely heal us. But if we fry it in oil, it's actually, then it starts to, like a fried potato chip, for example, then it starts to cause damage to the liver. And depending on the oil, like you're doing really great with the healthy oils and staying away from GMOs. That's awesome. Because then you're going, if you do GMOs, you're getting into feeding cancers, and cancer is viral related. And so, any toxins in the body will feed a virus. And so and it's the certain virus that mutates into cancer. So that's what it is, like usually Epstein-Barr viruses or like other herpes viruses. Okay, but yeah, so when you eat a fried potato chip and you're going into fried oil zone, you can damage arteries if it isn't a healthy oil. So if it's like a bad oil, it can damage arteries, can build up cholesterol, because cholesterol is coming to patch up the arteries. And also, depending on the kind of salt they use, if it's iodized, it can like cut your arteries inside and will also build up cholesterol because it's like little band-aids patching up all the cuts and stuff. And the fat accumulates when it can't be processed by the liver, then it kind of starts to gum up around inside the body. It just gets started to get clogged. So then you can cause heart disease. So you can cause all kinds of things. All your organs can get fatty. Yeah, so that's just kind of the understanding of it. And that all foods you can look at every food differently. It's something I learned over a long period of time.
So, as you're reading people and you're seeing, and being guided to how to help them, do you ever come across, we kind of call them NPCs, or people that you just can't read? There's nothing there to read. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you do, what do you feel like that means, or what do you do with that?
So I've never come across myself. I've never come across an NPC myself. They may be out there. I just have not myself come across it. I do attract a certain type of person. I attract star seeds. So I'm a Pleiadian starseed. And I often attract, are you?
Yeah.
Love it. Of course, that's why we're here together, right? Um, and you asked me for an interview too, which is see, it's just like attracting these star seeds. Arcturians, I help a lot of Arcturians, like a ton of Arcturians, Pleiadians, ton of Pleiadians. I got some Syrians I help. I haven't actually had any Andromedan clients yet, but I know I will. I think they're doing it in sequence because I'm being like, people are guided to see me. So that's how I have noticed. And then there's some people that are curious, but they won't be able to get a reading from me. So there is people I can't read. People that are skeptical of me, they block my energy. So if you're skeptical of me, you have negative energy attachments, and this is what I specialize in clearing in order to read people. And everyone has them. It's a normal thing in this world, right? So any negative attachments from any negative feelings and emotions, they're just like magnets. And if you're really special, like if you're a star seed and you're here on a mission, then they'll really come for you. And when you're doing your mission, well, then they come for you more because now I'm getting attacked all over the place. Like I'm saying, it's a struggle. Like the more amazing my gifts pop out. Like the more amazing gifts that come, like the more negative energy is coming to stop it. Like it's crazy. So so yeah, I do come across people who are here to attack me. Like, and I do see it more as not NPC, but more like a demon working through them. So it's almost like a possession at times, or it's almost like we can receive, we're psychic. We're all psychic. Human beings are psychic. Okay. We have the capacity to channel um good and bad energy, period. So we can like I said, those metals are like receivers, and those receivers can attract the negative energy too. So then negative energy is being channeled through. So it could be it could be a demon, it could be a reptilian, it could be all kinds of things. It could be some kind of trickster, sinister energy, something unknown, wraiths, all kinds of things. I've shadow beings. I've come across a lot. Nephilim, Anunnakis. There's all kinds that come through that I've had to clear from people and myself. And so that's what I notice is what blocks me and what makes me so that I cannot read somebody. So I do specialize in finding that and clearing it. And I do have a very amazing team to help me. I work with Archangel Michael. He's my main guide, and he protects me. And he's been pretty awesome. He's here right now. Um, he's the one moving me, so he wants you to know that he's here. Of course, thank you. And then Archangel Metatron, I work with him a lot. Especially my Arcturian clients are he loves to come in for them. They're like bonded really well. Michael usually helps a lot of Pleiadians. And who else do I work with? Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Zadkiel, Jophiel, Sandalphon. These are my regulars that come in these days. Spirit of Compassion I work with, and he's a really high frequency. And the higher your frequency, the higher you can connect. Like, so star seeds can connect to these frequencies. It's all about, that's the other thing I noticed is like, I didn't just heal my body, but I actually opened up my gifts this way. So I didn't just open up my gifts because, all of a sudden it's just, oh, now I open up my gifts because I just stumbled across it and I was like, oh, hey, I'm psychic. It was like I had to clear my body out, clear the metals out, clear the viruses out, everything that was clouding my sound, my intuition, like that deeper knowing, that deeper channeling chakras. And I raised my frequency through Reiki certifications, like attunements, getting attuned, constantly upgrading my energy through crystal therapy, through color therapy, through sound therapy, all the ways you can encompass your body. Because we'll go back to that too, where you asked me like, what else did you do? Was it just diet? It's all of the above. So it's crystal therapy, it's everything high frequency, it's dancing, it's singing, it's playing music, it's anything that lights you up. And so I do all those things. And becoming a circus performer, hanging upside down at 20 feet in the air, strengthening my body. I'm an exercise therapist, a personal trainer. I definitely work out all the time. And I stretch all the time. So it's like this combination of like taking care of every part of my body and then surrounding myself with healing energy. My whole house is full of crystals and like healing energy and stuff like that. So that helps me stay more clear and kind of receive that information. And my team comes in this way. And then, going back to like helping people clear their negative energy so that they can also become that light. So that's who I attract, is people who are ready to open up to their gifts and their light. And it starts with getting out of their suffering and like clearing those chronic illnesses, those heavy metals, and what's blocking them too. So I actually have an application on my website, because you can't just book me. You can't just go to my calendar and just book me. You have to apply to book with me, because I have to read your energy and see if I can, because I don't want you to waste your time with me. I don't want to waste the time, right? So, if I can't, I've come across that in the past where people have come to me and they want a reading, but they don't really have the best intentions, or they're skeptical and they just want to test me and they're not actually like interested in healing or doing anything like that. And so, I come across all kinds of people like that, but I haven't personally come across NPCs.
Have you come across any hybrids, like hybrid star seeds, and do then your helpers like argue over who's gonna help and how? Because
it's me. No, I have not come across a hybrid either. Yeah, I go back to it's really mainly Arcturians and Pleiadians right now, but I believe that I'm on a journey, and I believe that in the future more people will come. Like I don't decide anything I do. I let spirit tell me what I'm doing next. It's like they know more than I do. So they've proven themselves time and time again. And so I just ask, I can just receive like, oh, this person is Arcturian. They tell me through my mind. And then I'm like, okay. And then, and then I just write that down. And then I just notice like, oh, here's all my clients. And it's like, there's like all these Arcturians and all these Pleiadians. And I think I've seen just like a couple Syrians, like I mentioned, Alpha Centaurians, getting a little bit more of those now. So I'm like seeing a pattern and I'm like, oh, there's a new one. And it's like, cool, are we doing that now? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yes, that's exciting. So I'm really excited to see who I will find in the future. So maybe ask me that question again later, because maybe I will come across helping hybrids. I just don't. One thing I know that I'm not really. Are you hybrid?
I am.
So there we go. Thank you. Okay, cool. I love that. So cool. You're my first hybrid that I met, and yeah, bring on more of that. I'd love to just meet more people and yeah, help more people. Um, one, I've been told right now, I don't help humans. I mean, we're all in human bodies, right? But star seeds are connected differently, right? So we are star seeds in human bodies, so we're kind of tethered in, um, and and like like human souls that are like just being like from earth right now. I don't help those people. That's not my but my clients do. So like some of the people that come to see me and when they heal, because I have clients that have healed, they have come to that and now they're doing like training with me, like they're training to be a psychic medium and they're training on their mission. And I see them helping humans. So I see how we all help each other and we all have our own little specialties. And it's like we're kind of creating this community here within my circle. And yeah, and so yeah, maybe I'll help humans in the future. I don't know. But yeah, it's exciting. So that's cool that you're hybrid. What's your hybrid? I just want to know, like, what are you hybrid of?
It's more like, what am I not a part of?
Oh, so you're like a whole mash.
Palladian, Arcturian, Andromedan, Syrian, Lyran.
Oh, Lyran. That's one I forgot to mention. I work with, so you're like, oh, that's so cool. I love it.
I have a
When you
little
said that, my head goes like
reptilian.
that. You're a
Yeah.
little reptilian? Yeah.
Yep.
My partner's like that a little bit. My partner's Lyran and a little bit reptilian. So that's really interesting. It's the only person I know other than you. That's so cool.
No, and what I find that's really interesting is it seems like star seeds and other types of people who are aware and awake to gifts and abilities, we seem to, I see a pattern of undergo, like what the human experience would say, trauma to awakening to our true selves. And it seems like that is a pattern I see with everyone I talk with is when they're like, oh yeah, I'm starseed and I had this trouble and this almost took me out, but now I'm here and now I'm helping people by doing this, this, and this. And so I always find it interesting that we don't sit there and go, well, this world sucks. Let me just get the hell out and I'm out of here. We
God.
actually stand up and are like, okay, so I'm here to do this. I went through hell. Now let's do it. So the next generation doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's why we're here. It's our mission. And we all have our specialty, right? What we go through. I think our trauma is our specialty. Right? So
Yeah.
like that's our experience. Cause like what we can't know what we don't experience. Like I know there's so many people that read books, but they think they know everything, but they've never experienced what they've read. So they only know of it. And so, when we experience it head on, and I've gone through a lot of trauma, like I could I could trigger warning this live all day. We're talking like all kinds of abuse. all kinds, and just from like childhood, and from family then onward to like it just kept extending to like more and more abuse, and from the what if it's like the system itself, or if it's from people around me, you know um my mindset, whatever it was, that was how I was trained. We were meant to overcome it all. Like that's why we're here. We came in strong because we're old souls, and we've been around a long time, and we've lived so many lives, and we've had so much trauma in all of our lives, because part of what I do is clear past life trauma too, that's getting in our way of our mission now. And so we have so much stuff we've been through. We've been probably beheaded. We probably beheaded someone else. We probably died from like all different kinds of causes. We've probably been in situations that we don't even have English words for, and all kinds of this stuff has happened to us. And it's dark and it's dirty work. This isn't like all rainbows and unicorns. Like that's what I thought when I maybe first started. I was like, oh great, my life's gonna be perfect now. But it's like, no, because then there's the new challenge. Just like there's always a new challenge that makes you stronger. But the difference with star seeds is like they always stand up to that challenge, even when it feels like they're gonna break, even when you're in your darkest moment and you're like I think I'm out. Like I've had many near suicide thoughts. I actually did, another trigger warning, but like when I was young, I did try, drank a bottle of this, take a bottle of that. Like it was heavy and dark. And so to for some reason it never worked. It never happened. And it's just like, okay, fine. We're just gonna keep going. And have you heard of walk-ins?
I
You
have.
must by now, right? Okay, so I'm a walk-in. So I've walked in probably 6 times now, because it did get so dark for my body, and or for my soul. I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like I'm done. Like I just like tag, you're it. And so then the next one would come through. And so it's not easy, but we have such a mission, and the strength of our oversoul is so strong that we just don't let it take us down in some way, shape, or form. We're gonna continue on. If it's a new part of your oversoul or whatever it is, or if it's more light coming in, because usually I see star seeds with angelic guides, not just grandma, or it's not that grandma's not special, because she is, but I'm saying like, it's like archangels are our guides, and several of them. It's not just one. We have a team of them. And everyone says, oh, but they're so busy. And I'm like, yeah, because they're busy with the star seeds, because we're the ones on the mission. So it's like, we are important. And I think often we forget we're so important too, because we're not always in the spotlight and all that, right? We always usually being, they're always trying to bring us down. So that's why we're not usually mega celebrities and stuff like that. I noticed that too. But who knows? That will change, right? We're going to change that game. And so, yeah, I totally see that. Like we're just warriors. We're warriors of the light, and you can't take us down.
Yeah. We're actually at the hour mark. Do you have time to go on, or do you need to go?
Yeah, I'm totally cool to go on. I'm here tonight with you. So and all the people watching. I got my tea. I'm good.
So I'm a little curious too with the fact, like you say, you're walking. My experience has always been walk-ins have different characteristics, different traits.
Mhm.
So if you are, like you say, totally say fruitarian, what if when the next person who walks in is like, I'm not a fruit person.
Right.
I'm not doing this. So how do you handle like adjust do you have to make adjustments to your diet and everything because of the walk-in?
That's a good question. So I'm operating from the same team on the other side. So we all have a joint mission. So I had a group of souls that are in a line that are all on board with this mission. So it doesn't change. But in fact, it's confusing sometimes. Like at first it's a little disorienting. Like normally it's when I go to sleep, I'll just go to sleep and then there'll be a walk-in. If that's the case, if I'm decided I'm checked out. And it's usually around some severe trauma. Like I've gone through some insane trauma that week or that day, and I'm just like, I know, like I can't take this anymore. Please tag you're it. So it's like, yeah, this has all been set up before I came here. So this is, so I will tell you, I just had a walk in. I just walked in. Oh, it's been about a month now or so. Severe trauma, something happened in my personal life that was absolutely horrifying, and I just felt like I can't go on another day, another minute. And so it was a very lucid experience. Like I didn't fall asleep this time, I just allowed myself to go with my eyes open, sitting in the car being driven. So I did this while we were driving, and I was just like, I'm gone, I'm done, tag you're it. And then I felt like it was like a death, but I was for there was no stopping of the breath. It was just like letting go, and then the next soul just came right in right away. So that I noticed the difference in my body, because you take on all the memories, everything is the same. So it's a strange experience for me, because it's like, and this is my first time having this experience awake. Um, I immediately saw everything different. Everything's brighter. Everything is just a little bit jarring, but my memories are all still there. But my emotions were different because I didn't have the trauma that the other soul had. So I was able to handle the situation better, because I was like, oh, I'm just here. And I kind of felt like Terminator, like when he like kind of, I forget exactly how that movie went, but like when he's like naked and like walking around like trying to assess everything. It kind of felt like that, because I was just it took me about an hour to kind of integrate. I'm like, what am I doing here? What is happening next? And I kind of felt robotic, and then it started to sink in, and then I ended up going to sleep that night, and then the next morning I was like, oh yeah, here I am. Okay, we're doing this thing. And everything felt normal, like everything was manageable emotions. So it's usually the emotions that take over, because I'm a very sensitive soul. My body is so highly attuned that sometimes it can get overwhelming. So yeah. And the attacks come. So like that's why I did a walkout, is because like I had an attack. The trauma was something kind of an energy attack. Yeah, so they do try to take us down. But yeah, my all my souls are on board with the mission, like I said. So we actually just go more deeply into the healing. We're like, okay, I don't have that problem she had. So, I'm okay to just eat only potatoes for this week or whatever. Like we go deeper into like mono cleansing and stuff. I'm like a really simple diet right now. It's actually so freeing.
And I just made a mental note not to get in the car with you.
Well, I wasn't driving. I
Oh,
wasn't
I
driving.
was like,
No, I was a passenger. I was a passenger, but that was a good mental note. I'm a good driver. I would never do that while driving. No, I was in the passenger seat. I had someone driving me, and I was able to check out. Yeah.
so there's an interesting comment question that I have that I'm going to expand on from the chat group, and that is he's Bim Jim says, I have no boo-hoos. I was born crippled. Try that. So what
Mhm.
if somebody is born with a chronic something or a disability? How do you know what to change to remedy that?
Mhm. Some can't be remedied. So it depends on if it's a really like if it's something physical that maybe they were born without a leg. I can't help you grow your leg back. I wish that'd be great. Maybe one day. But um it depends on what it is. And now if it is heavy metal or viral based, um I would need to read that. I would need to read that body and see if that's what it is. If it is, then we could actually uh possibly recover some of that, maybe all. Depends on the severity, depends on. So if you're born that way, there might be deformities in the womb that can't be fixed. Or like because heavy metals can cause a lot of damage to the body, physical bodies. So if you were born pretty okay, you still got all your parts, but they're just all, you're just really toxic, we can clear that out. So something like somebody with ALS, for example, that's reversible. And also somebody with like Parkinson's, stuff like this, like things where it's really severe and they have coordination issues, or you're in a wheelchair. But if it's heavy metal or neurological based, that can be reversed. But if it is something, like I said, physically disabled, like, not always fix everything. It's, yeah. And that's also okay, because I believe that that's part of their mission, is to live in that body. So that's why I don't help everyone.
Well, and I don't ever feel like anybody isn't perfectly who they are. And
Yeah.
if you have something, that, like, I just recently did a interview with a lady who works with how does she term it, nonverbal disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
and like dyslexia. I had to think of the word.
Mm.
I have that, and I learned to adapt. I never thought, at first you think of yourself as broken because of it, but then you learn, no, this just makes me need to adapt, which puts me on a different level
Yeah.
than somebody who doesn't have it. And so my brain is working differently. So once you learn that, it's like, okay. And so I wasn't flawed or broken. It's just the normal system didn't work for me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. That
And
is so cool. Yeah.
yeah, and so
I
we
just
were
wanted to say about that too. Go ahead.
discussing,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were just
Yeah.
discussing, like the number one thing for people to, that have stuff like dyslexia or autism or something
Mm-hmm.
is, you're not less than human. You are, I actually kind of view them as higher than human because they're operating at a level we're not, and we
Yeah.
think it's lower, and because that's what the doctors tell us. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they're
Right.
like higher, and we need to catch up to them.
Yes, I have something amazing to add to that, because that's exactly what I believe. In fact, that is true 100%, because when you have type of neurological heavy metal based disorder, like you mentioned, the three you mentioned have to do with those. Like that was me with autism, right? So the brain for autism, there's metals in the midline cerebral canal, which is where the two hemispheres connect from. So when that's gummed up, or I call it gummed up, when it's like, blocked, then the brain has to adapt by going around, which forces you to use more of your brain. Whereas most people don't. They have the direct pathways, and if you don't have the heavy metals in, just like whoop, doop, doop. And so you don't develop the extrasensory. So, and then some adults do later on. Anyways, we do end up using I think if we train it, we can use that part of our brain. Anyways, but we are forced to, because we don't have a choice. And so you're forced to use also your other abilities, like you're telepathic. Everyone's telepathic. Um, so people who are nonverbal learning, like nonverbal disorders, they and have you heard of the telepathy tapes? So these types of children who are with severe autism, and they have these disorders, they have to adapt by like communicating nonverbally, like with their other abilities. So you just develop them sooner, you know, and or maybe some don't ever if they don't have those abilities. So we're superhuman, superhuman. And then when you get the metals out, not only are you able to use all what you've trained, but now you can use the midline too, if you're autistic. So people who say, "Oh, I don't want to ever get rid of my autism," it's like you never will. In fact, you will only become more superior in your abilities, because you're now just opening up more of your brain.
And what I find interesting is, this is how my brain works, is I see like people who are in chairs and they have like an air tube in their mouth, and they say that's what's driving the chair, and it's something to do with how they're blowing the air or something, is
Right.
how. And I look at that and I'm like, I don't think so. I think
Mm.
the mind is telepathically telling the machine what to do, and the machine is picking up the signal and doing it.
I love that.
Because it's like, if when you look at like I'm not picking on this person, but I'm just using an example, Christopher Reeve or
Mhm.
Stephen Hawking's.
Mhm.
You never saw them like move their head forward or to the right or to the left, but their wheelchairs would move.
Wow,
And
interesting.
yeah, I think Stephen Hawking's had a knob that he could use on his, but I don't think I remember Christopher Reeve having one. And so I
Well,
feel like it had to be telepathic because if the body's not moving, how does it know to move?
that I don't have any experience with, so that's mind-blowing to me. Yeah, I'm also curious, and that is so cool. I mean, I do know there's, like, so many technologies that we're not privy to, and, maybe the more money and status you have, maybe the more privy you are to those, I'm not sure, but, yeah, that's I mean, I'm not putting it like, we have, what is it, telekinesis. I mean, I've seen so many people doing that. I haven't done that myself yet, although I'm very curious to learn and train if I had some time. Um, so I don't put it yeah, I'd say that that's probably a normal skill we all could develop.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like everything we've been like taught has kind of like I know there's the expression like the pineal gland is calcified, so
Mhm,
it's blocked. And
mhm,
if people aren't aware, the third eye is known as the pineal gland in the body, and it's an energy processor. And so if it's blocked, yeah, you're gonna miss everything. But if it's opened and you cracked it or broke, decalcified it and it's normal, you have
mhm,
access to information. And I feel like the telepathy comes through. But a lot of people will say, well, because you were eating this and drinking that and doing these drugs, that's what caused this to calcify. I
mhm,
wonder if instead of all of that, and I'm not saying go do it, all
mhm,
those things, but because we were told it's decalcified, did we actually calcify our own pineal gland because
mm,
we were told it was? And it
right,
never really was.
right, that's so powerful of a yeah, question. Um I do still see the heavy metals blocking it, yes, and shutting it down, but there is an element of like, well, if we don't know what gifts we have, how can we possibly use them or even start practicing them, you know? So it's like if we're told we're this because we go to school and we train that we're this and this and only this, and if you don't do it like this, then you're weird and get out, or like, you're shunned out of society, and um, so people like me are crazy, and that's like and so but it's this is all my reality. There's so many different realities, and I think that we're capable of a lot of things if we believed in it. So yeah, I think we need to be just we should spread the word, like there's more to life than just this, and you know you have a third eye and it can work. But yeah, I think there's an element of heavy metals that block it too. I know that for a fact. That happened with mine, and yeah, but yeah, like there's the other element of like knowing what you got. If you don't know what you got, you can't use it.
Yeah, which is going to bring me to another question. And yeah, a lot of people don't like when I ask this type of question because it like kind of goes against everything really that you were talking about, but it doesn't, in my
Okay.
opinion. And that is if, like you're saying, eating a potato chip is gonna do damage. Well, what if when I'm eating that chip, I view it as benefiting the body and I put natural energy and
Mhm.
positive energy to it? And
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, the body needs this. It's going to help me. It's going to nourish what I need. And you
Mhm.
just eat that and then you don't eat anymore and you're fine. You don't go into excess. It's not like,
Mhm.
I'm not going to eat potato chips every day.
Right.
But so if you're putting that positive energy and intention into the food, does it matter what we're eating? Will it still
Right.
do harm, or will it actually transmute it and take the harmful out and make it beneficial?
Powerful. So, no, I think that's a great question. I think that's a good question to ask. Okay. And that's a really relevant question because a lot of people think it, including myself, because I tried that and it didn't work for me. But I do see it as being an element. So you can pray to the angel of disarmament and the angel of enrichment for your food. So you can actually, because like I said, I work with angels. So that's who I ask. And they actually do have some uh, effect on that food, and it does help. So I say, yes, it does help. But if you have a severe chronic illness, and it depends on how often you're eating. Like you said, if it's occasional, you're just having like a potato chip once a month, or if you're having a bag of potato chips once a month, it depends, right? On the what's your
Right.
balance. Yeah, because I don't see it as doing like I don't see it as like transforming the food into this magical healing thing. But what I do see is like it can reduce the harm, and it can amplify some of the healing benefits from it. And it also depends on the what has been used. Like if it's a potato chip with coconut oil on it, maybe not a big deal. But if it's a potato chip with like some kind of like canola oil or something, then maybe it's a big deal. It depends. So if you have a healthy working liver, your liver can just process that anyways. And if you do energy healing while you're eating it, then you're good. You're good to go. And that's why many people aren't sick as well, and they haven't come across viruses that it could feed once again, because you're all still up against this virus and or whatever else is in our environment. So it just depends, I think. But I feel like it does do some help, like it does do something, but I don't think it does enough if you're chronically ill. So if you have a severe chronic illness, I wouldn't rely on just that. And I would rely on, doing more for your body to heal faster. But but yeah, I do believe there's an element of that for sure, of like energy healing. Yeah. And I do that energy healing too. And I also channel light language and other so there's this light language. I don't know what I'm saying. I receive the general benefits of what it is, or like some of the information, but I can do that for people too, where they'll whoever it is that wants to come through will come through, if it's like spirit of compassion, or if it's an angel. It's usually an angel, or a galactic council. Like I'll channel pleading council, and they'll do healing, like big time healings on people's organs. So not just the food they're eating, but their organs, um, and their circuit systems. Will reconnect things that have been disconnected. Will work on the aura, and that's really super fun. So I do love energy healing for that, and it's a big part of my practice and what I do for my clients. Yeah, so big time energy healing helps.
So if quantum entanglement and quantum healing comes into play, it almost seems like, and I know this is going to sound strange because of what we're talking about, but if on a quantum level we can heal ourselves from anything, does it really truly matter what we put in the body? Because it seems to me, and I get having a chronic illness, like if you have an issue, like I have an allergy to onions. So
Mm.
I'm not going to go and sit and chomp on an onion and then go, okay, quantum field, transmute the onion. I'm going
Mm,
to,
okay.
just not eat the onion and
Right.
eat around it. But I feel like, because if I sit there and focus on, okay, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Is this good? To me, it kind of takes the joy and the hope out of eating, and it becomes more of a chore. And if I just eat and go, today I'm feeling like Chinese food. Tomorrow I'll cook, maybe a steak. And the
Mhm.
next day, oh, maybe I'll have, a soup. But it's just, and not worry what's going in. And because I don't have a chronic, is the body on a quantum level like going, okay, yeah, this wasn't the best thing, but hey, we can pick this that's good, this that's good, and we'll just flush the bad out.
Hmm. If it's yeah, that's a good one. I mean, uh, first thing I have to say is, okay, go ahead and try it, see what happens.
Well, I do it
And
every
like,
day.
right, yeah. And then if you're happy with that, that's awesome. Like that's what you're meant to do. And but also, possibly could be developing chronic illness in the future based on, okay, our body just works a certain way, our organs just work a certain way. There's like a system here on earth and how our bodies work. That's why we're not all different inside. Like all of our, we can look different, or we could have different genders, we could look, different skin colors, heights, and all the fun things, but our insides are all the same. They might look big different sizes, and they might be in slightly different places. Some people might be missing things, of course, but generally they all look the same and work the same. So that's one thing we all have in common. And so that, I don't think we can bypass that with quantum physics. I don't think we were meant to. And I've tried that. And I also say, don't take my word for it. Try it. I mean, I don't want to see you harm yourself if something bad happens to you, but how else are we going to learn anyways? So we go back to pain and suffering, right? So it's like we're here kind of to learn these lessons. So yeah, and I do see there's an element of it can help, but depends on how much, how frequent, once again, and how often, and if it's actually working or not. And or maybe also, how strong are your beliefs? Maybe because the system that we're in is very bombarding, like it's very overpowering. So how strong is our mind compared to all of that? So maybe we're telling ourselves this is going to work, but then maybe there's something over there that's telling us that it's not, and so it's counteracting our healing. And so we have to do more now, because we have to actually really physically focus. And yeah, it can get crazy, it can get chaotic, it can be simple too. um but it is always emotional based. Like what we are craving and what we're connected to is usually emotional as well. So if we can work on the emotions around our cravings and our the foods that they've kind of got us hooked onto, um, if you understand the system more of how it works and how they manipulate people to stay sick, then you can overcome that easier. But it's still a major challenge, and it's not for everyone. Like I said, it's only for people who are ready, like the warriors that are like, I want to do better, I want to do more, I want to be physically super fit, I want to be mentally super fit, or like I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, or like I don't want to have cancer, or I don't want to, you know, have all these chronic illnesses, if it's an autoimmune disease or if it's neurological or whatever it is. Yeah, I think we're all up against a lot. Like the system is just kind of really overpowering. But yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe if we all got together, all of us on the planet, and we all believed, then we could create whatever we wanted. But I think our minds are in a jail where it's like these invisible cages of like frequencies all around us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I say like eat whatever I want, I don't do McDonald's. I don't do like Burger
Hmm.
King. The most fast food I do is like I'll go to a fried chicken, Korean chicken place where they fry up wings that are boneless because I can't eat bone marrow. But
Mm.
and I don't get the ones that are like draped in sauce. I'll usually
Nice.
get like cheese on it. They have
You make a
a
big, yeah.
cheese powder that's really good, and I'll get that like once maybe a month. And another day I may go to like Chipotle, and where I'm getting like real meat with cheese and lettuce on a tortilla with rice, and I'm not
Mhm.
eating like the fake food. I I'll
Yeah.
go and I'll eat the real chicken or the real steak
Right.
places. And so I'm wondering if that is why it works for me, is because I'm not eating like, and then I'll be honest, I don't eat the plant diet, all that
Mhm.
fake meat that's plant based.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
I think that's good.
And
It's another kind of
the reason,
processed food.
yeah, because what we found was when we ate, were like, if I eat chips that were genetically modified, I'll get a pain on my side for like a day or two, and then
Mm.
it goes away.
Mm.
And it only comes when I eat that particular chip, which I know is
Mm.
genetically modified. So
Mhm.
everything I eat, we painstakingly go through, my mom and I, and we're like, is this
Mhm.
genetically modified? Is this bioengineered? Or
Right.
is there anything in here that's plant based? And if it is, we're like, we put it down and we go and we find something that's real, so to
That's
speak.
good.
And
That's
so
really good.
I'm wondering if that's why this is working for me, because everything I'm
Mhm.
putting in is real
Mhm.
versus artificial.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. It gotta be real for sure. Yeah. And then there's levels to all of it. So yeah. And I think you're doing the right thing. You're making smart choices. And yeah, like I said, it goes back down to like the liver basically. You can still get clogged up from too much fats. So it is healthy to take breaks from high fat diets. We don't need extra fat to live. That's what I discovered as well. And you know, l- um if you want to talk about like some of the symptoms you mentioned like dyslexia or like the nonverbal thing, or you said it was some kind of, was it nonverbal, what did you say you had?
I have dyslexia
Dyslexia, okay.
and
Yeah,
bronchitis.
and bronchitis, right. So okay, because of those things, lowering the fats could help the metals come out. Okay, so the detox, and that's what would help that. So that's what I see. But yeah, so but like I think you're doing awesome. Making all the right choices, and then just understanding how the organs work could help even more if you wanted that, if that's what you're something you're interested to experience. Um, but yeah, once again, you don't have to. It's not. It's up to you, really. But like, yeah, those are the levels to it. There's a lot of levels to it. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here to
Well,
help.
'cause, like, I know if I say, I go to the store and I get chicken nuggets that are non breaded and I eat them for, let's say, 6 days in a row. I know by day four, maybe day three, it's not going to agree with me because I'm
Right.
eating it. I don't eat the same thing every day and I space it out. And we were told by an acupuncturist who did Tai Chi, if you eat the same food every day, your body generates an allergy to it.
Mm,
So if let's say you like chicken, well, if you eat chicken every day, your body's going to reject the chicken because it's
mm,
generated an allergy because you've eaten it too much.
mm.
So that's where
And it would
we,
depend on the food. That's where
yeah.
you go? Yeah.
And so, like, I may eat chicken one day and then I'll eat shrimp or a fish or a steak or a pork or a
Mm.
burger or a
Mhm,
hot dog.
mhm.
And then it's like, then I'll go, oh, I'm craving the chicken again. But it's been like a week between. So
Right.
I don't, and I rarely have leftovers. I don't like having leftover food because I feel like when I only have a few days to eat that,
True.
but I can't eat it back to back.
Right.
So how does that work? And it's like, I'll try and eat
Gotta
it
eat
all in
all
the
day.
same day. But
Right. And then move on. Well, it depends on the food too. So, yeah, it's good to cycle foods because it's good to get various nutrients, right? And, also, you can eat just bananas and you can eat just potatoes and not get an allergy from it. You can. That's a thing. So healing foods you can eat over and over and over again and be
hmm,
pretty consistent. And in fact, it's very healing to do that because it gives your digestive system a chance, like a break, because it's not having to says different foods digest at different rates, and when you mix them all together, if you have like low hydrochloric acid from, let's say, coffee or alcohol, or stuff like caffeine and alcohol will lower your hydrochloric acid, which makes it so that you can't digest food as quickly, and you get a lot of bloating and stuff like that, then it'd be helpful, because then it would be really streamlined, simple, smooth. Your body's not struggling to digest everything, and it's very, very healing. And even just like only papayas you can eat. You could eat just peas if you want. There's certain foods you can't just live on, like just watermelon all day, like people do. That's not beneficial. There's not enough calories in that. Although it's great to have a lot of watermelon. So there's certain foods you can just eat only one of, but all healing foods, you'll never get an allergy from them. But allergies also usually stem from having a virus in the system. And then you're getting allergic reactions, like you're getting like triggered by the viral components that are in your body when you eat healing foods. But if it's not healing foods, it could be feeding the virus, which is then also causing reactions. So there's like this kind of combination happening. And like saying you're allergic to onions, for example, you could be having like a severe, onions are very healing, very. And so like you're probably having like a healing reaction with the onion, because it's like really going to town, and healing reactions aren't fun. Like when you're healing, it can feel like you're dying sometimes, just because the amount of your body feels things more when it gets what it needs to do the work. A lot of people don't feel a lot of their chronic illnesses when they're not eating a lot of healing foods. Especially like greens. Some people have issues with greens and roughage in their body, like raw vegetables. They say they have pains when it goes through their body because they have a lot of damage to their intestines. So that kind of food can like scratch it. Whereas like if you eat like eggs or something smooth like rice, it can be a lot easier to digest. So your body doesn't feel that kind of damage that's happening. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of things going on there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are a little bit over an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Where can people find you if they want to apply and try your program?
Yeah. So I do work mainly one-on-one right now. So it's one-on-one coaching, one-on-one readings. You can go to my website. It's brainiacwellness.com, BRAINIAC wellness, WELLNESS.com. And you can read all about how I work, kind of the details of what I mentioned today, some of my offerings, and you can apply application and I do recommend that you do read everything, because I think it's important to read everything if you want to work with me, just to kind of get an understanding of everything that we're doing. It would be really beneficial if you had any kind of basic understanding of medical medium information, because it would be really like there's a lot to understand. And so if you don't know anything about that yet, you can go to medicalmedium.com, um, or you can get the books. I do recommend the books, and read a little bit about the basics of the diet and the understanding of the background of why we're doing this. And then once you have that understanding, you can come and apply to work with me as well if you want to do that. But that's if you want to do protocols with me. But if you just want to get a reading, you just want to understand what's going on, then you can apply to get a reading, get a medical reading. And if you don't even want that, you can apply just to have energy healing, because I love doing that. So you can do that too. My application is formed around people who are doing protocols, but you can just mention it in the application that you're not interested right now in all of that, and what you are interested in is energy healing right now, and maybe a medical reading. So yeah, just kind of fill in the gaps on the application. And I'm on social media, but I'm not really super active yet. I think I'm going to get more active. Um, I'm kind of crawling out from under the hiding place, and I'll post this on my YouTube channel, which has got probably like 4 people right now following me. And Facebook is where I'm most active. I do have a Facebook group too. It is I can't remember the name of it right now because it's kind of long, but it's a medical, it's a Brainiac Wellness, like medical medium help group. Um, and there's also, my name's Lindsay Brooke on Facebook, so you can find me there. And I'm on Instagram a little bit, and a little bit on TikTok as well. So yeah.
And all of those, but the medicalmedium.com, are in the description. And while she was mentioning them, I did scroll them and the medicalmedium.com across the bottom for a little bit while she was explaining
Nice.
that. So those are the ways to find her.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming on and sharing your information and experiences with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. It was such a pleasure. It was actually super enjoyable.
Well, I'm glad. And not being a medium, but I do have a message for you.
Thank you. Please.
From my heart and the heart of my shows to you, thank you for what you're doing for humanity. It
Aw.
is seen, felt, and appreciated.
I appreciate that so much. It's received really strongly. I can feel it right in there, right in the heart. It's coming in hard. Thank you so, so much. That was like a magnet. Whooshu! Thank you so much for seeing me and giving me the time and space to tell a little bit about my story.
Yes,
Your
and
work is appreciative.
well, thank you. And be sure to like and follow along because you never know when we may have Lindsay Brooke back on.
I would love to maybe do some like channeling. That'd be fun.
Hey, anything's possible.
Yeah, do all kinds of stuff. I'm excited. Great.
Well, thank you. Thank you to everyone in the chat room that participated and everyone watching. And with that, we are going to say good night and have a wonderful week. And always remember, no matter where you're at in life, there's always hope. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Let's try that again.
Oh.